from the central and from the south. Let's talk about this. From the north signifying your future, the central signifying your present, and the south talking about your past. Well, preacher, what are you talking about? The enemy will bring up stuff from your past to make you fight against things in your past, to try to deter you in your present that will stop you from reaching your future. But it's only because of the promise that's standing before you. I promise there is a promise. Touch your neighbor and say, I can promise you there's a promise. And it's only because of the promise that here now he's going over this Jordan and he's being confronted with enemies. Enemies. But God told him one thing before crossing. He said, Joshua, everywhere that the sole of your feet shall tread upon, I've already given it to you. You don't even realize that you already have that thing. You don't even realize that all you got to do is step into it. Somebody need to stand on their feet and start walking, because everywhere the tread, somebody saying, well, all I'm doing is walking on blue carpet. I dare you to put it in your mind the very thing that you desire to have from God. I dare you to put it in your mind that very thing you're desiring to conquer. I dare you to put that daughter in your mind, put that son in your mind, that husband, that wife, and start stepping out on it. He said, everywhere that the tread of your feet shall tread upon, I've already given it to you. Only be thou courageous and fear not. One thing I come to realize in the church today, that fear is the biggest opposition that's upholding you from getting everything that God has designed for you in your life. Fear, false evaluations appearing real. It's just a mirage. Touch your neighbor and say, it's just a mirage. See, you got to learn to look for what the devil don't want you to see. The enemy wants you to see the giants. The enemy wants you to see this thing as being bigger than you are. The enemy wants you to see it as being lost and no hope. But everything the devil says is a lie. Because the devil is a liar and the truth is not in him. He is the father of lies. So if the devil is telling you you're broke, busted, and disgusted, you need to celebrate your riches. Because everything the devil says is a lie. The devil telling you there is no hope for you, you need to glorify God, because God is getting ready to do something great in and through you. Because everything the devil says is a lie. The devil counted you as worthless, but everything the devil say is a lie. I'm celebrating my worthfulness in God, because everything the devil say is a lie. What did God call you? I am who God says I am. Might have been smoking coke in the hallways of the projects, but I am who God says I am. Might have been in the back alleys doing stuff I ain't had no business doing, but I am who God says I am. Might have been a single mother, but God says I am somebody, and I am who God says I am. I don't have to be validated by man, because I am who God says I am. And God says I'm the head and not the tail. I am the first and not the last. I am above only and not beneath. Touch your neighbor and say, I am who God says I am. The biggest opposition in the church today is fear. I've never seen so many coward soldiers before in my life. But one thing about me, I wasn't scared when I was in the world. I sure ain't gonna be scared. Now that I'm in the church, for they told me, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. Why am I gonna be chicken now? When I wasn't scared then. If you ain't scared, why don't you touch somebody and say, I ain't scared? Fear. Fear, fear. Fear has infiltrated the church. Fear has infiltrated the church. And we're allowing it to rule and reign. But I come to serve notice on the devil tonight that I shall look for what you don't want me to see. Joshua, after crossing over the river Jordan, God told him, be thou courageous. And another thing he told them is to be obedient. Remember what Moses told you. Remember the law that was given unto you. And if you do these things, you can have anything that your heart desire. But you got to understand that you must be obedient. Here's another icon in the church. The spirit of disobedience in the church. I'm so sick of the spirit of disobedience. It makes me sick. Why? Because everybody wants to be equal to the leaders in the house. Oh, I can talk about it. Because I am who God said I am. You will never be on the level of your leader. Because how can he lead you if you're on the same level? He calls them to be leaders, not partners. But he said, Joshua, just be obedient. And a lot of you have been desiring and praying for so many different things, but you got to check your last point of disobedience. Because God will never take you further than your last point of disobedience. You're trying to reach for more, and God's saying, correct that back there. See, that was a moment for all of us to search our hearts and see, oh God, where was it that I disobeyed? Because he will never let you go further than your last place of disobedience. Self may have you here, but spiritually you still there at that last point of disobedience. And he will never allow you to go further. But Joshua, remember what Moses told you. You must be obedient. Touch your neighbor and say, be obedient, be obedient. Now here Joshua tells the children of Israel, we must needs go over this Jordan. Because everything that we desire is awaiting us over this Jordan. We can stand here all day and night and pray, but until we go over, we'll never reach it. Touch your neighbor and say, it's time to go over. It's time to go over. In the process of the warfare, Jericho now stands before them. Jericho was so big, and the walls were so tall, and the width thereof was so wide, that people lived within the walls of Jericho. Somebody touch your neighbor and say, now that's a big one. But Jericho was only a mirage. It was there, but it wasn't as big and bad as it appeared. And I come to tell somebody, no doubt the situation is there, but it's not as big and as bad as it appears. You are more than conquerors.